Okay, so in this video I want to talk about my history with SARMS. This shouldn't be super long because I don't have a lot of uh, pictures, or I don't even have like lifts or anything. Unfortunately, I didn't really keep track of much back then. Um, so I guess I'll just like quickly talk about time periods. So I'm 26. Started lifting as a junior in high school, so I guess that would be about 17 years old. And I lifted for like 2 years, and I put on some good size and muscle and a ton of weight. I went from like 140 or 135 maybe, which I'm 6 feet tall. So I was like super skinny back then, and I'm still kind of skinny. I'm currently 170, and I've been lifting again for about a year and a half or 2 years maybe, pretty consistently. So in the past, like I said, I lifted for like maybe around this same amount of time, so I maybe looked similar to the way I do now, but I would guess that I was a lot less informed on proper lifting. I think I've learned a ton about lifting in the past like year and a half since I've been doing it, because I've seen some good results, and I've been concentrating on just like improving my lifts, and that's been really good for me. Because in the past, when you're a little bit younger, you probably care about your ego lifts a lot more, so you would kind of throw progress or safety to the wayside, and maybe go for some like intense lifts, which I do remember doing, especially once I was on SARMS. So that's a little bit irrelevant, so I won't keep talking about that. But I do expect that if I take this seriously, I should see some really good gains, because I haven't touched anything performance enhancing for probably 5+ years. So I would imagine that any effects are probably like, I'm gonna get like newbie gains from the SARMs again, presumably, though that's not a guarantee. I don't know how that works. So anyway, I'm gonna be taking Ostarine. If you saw my last video, which I just shot, I talked about that a little bit, but I guess I'll just keep talking about what I remember. So after I took SARMs the first time, again, I didn't keep track as well as I should have, so I guess that's also why I'm motivated to do this. But I just remember my strength was really crazy. I was also young, like 20 years old. You've got like a ton of testosterone. Not that I'm old now, but probably had more back then and recovered better. And I was super motivated, taking like pre-workout creatine, just taking everything under the sun that was like mostly safe. So I took SARMs on top of that, and I was talking to my brother about it, and he reminded me that I was shoulder pressing 100-pound dumbbells, which that's obviously quite impressive, and it would have had, oh sorry, I just got a text, that would have had to be when I was on SARMs, because I just can't imagine myself getting up to those weights naturally in under like 3 years. That'd be, I'm not a freak. If I'm not lifting, I weigh 150 pounds. I'm not one of these like naturally really muscular guys. So I had some insane lifts. One thing I remember is I did have the like vision difficulty that people talk about. I forget what SARM it was, but I had the difficulty seeing at night. And like I said, I don't remember which one that was, but it's not the one I'm taking. I'm only going to be taking Ostarine for the next, my cycle. I guess that's the right word. I don't know why I did that. I guess cycle implies like steroids, but I'm going to be probably taking it, I think, for 12 weeks. I don't know. I'm going to watch the Greg Doucette video and see what he recommends. I'm going to keep the dosing as low as possible, just because that's the best way to go. But let's see, other than that, gosh, I remember when I was taking SARMS, it tasted like ass, and I would just like, I'd like dip it on my tongue, and I would just like, or drip it on my tongue, and just like shake every time, because I just remember it just like tasted so like bitter. But I do remember, you know, it definitely worked. I think I got up to like 185 pounds, but probably like fairly fat. I was probably like 20%. If I can find a picture, I'll put it in the description. There's a picture where I do look pretty massive. Just everything looks, I look like a off-season bodybuilder, like a football player or something, which again, for someone built like me genetically, that's not normal. So that was pretty cool. And let's see, what else? I've taken Osterine before, and like I said, it's been so long that I don't really remember much else about it. But you know, just to summarize this whole video, I have taken SARMs in the past. I remember they worked well. I don't know about the quality of them. I probably got it from a reputable source. I remember it was like a mostly white bottle, and I think it had like green lettering. I mean, if anyone remembers that from like, again, like 2012 or so. I don't know, maybe there was a popular brand back then, but yeah. I haven't taken a ton of them. I think I did like a bulking cycle and then like a cutting cycle with Osterine, and yeah. So in the future, I'll probably end up, well, I'm definitely going to do this one cycle of Osterine, and if all goes well, I'll consider doing RAD, because I don't see the point in taking like LGD or something, because I don't want to, well, it's not that I don't see the point, I just don't want to like get shut down. And I'm still aware that these other ones can shut you down, but it's also just like way harder to. And again, since it's been so long since I've taken anything, I should get some good results. So that's, I know this isn't like the most concise video according to what I'm going to title it, so my apologies for that. If you have any questions about this, any comments, let me know. And yeah, that's it for now.